Hi. I don't know if I'm ever gonna upload this, but Beebs is gone. He went to the bar to watch a football game with his coworker, so he won't be home till probably 9:30 or 10. And I don't really know what else to do besides talk to myself. So, I just uploaded a vlog if you want to check that out. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to talk and maybe do some cleaning with you guys. Just nightly chores around the apartment. We have this picture frame, digital picture frame that my dad gave us, but we have to get a SIM card for it so we can upload pictures to it. But we haven't done that yet. Last night, Beebs and I did the kitchen and the fridge. And I think right now I'm gonna work on the bathroom. Don't mind the mirror. We like to write letters back and forth to each other. He wrote this one in Sharpie. He wrote this one, I believe, today. I wrote that one for him. I wrote this, and that. So yeah, I'm going to start by grabbing the cleaner. So I got the cleaner. This is just Clorox Scentiva. It is grapefruit and orange blossom. So this is what I'm going to use to wipe down all of these counters. I'm going to get a fresh wash rag out of the closet. Got the wash rag, just a regular wash rag. I like to wet it with warm water. So I'm going to do that. Our water takes forever to heat up, so this might be a minute. I'm just going to wet the whole rag and wring it out as best as you can, because you don't want to dilute your cleaner with water, especially if you want it to be the cleanest it can get. So I'm just gonna, after I've done that, I like to spray the cloth with a little bit of cleaner and then spray the countertops, and then I'm going to start wiping them down. This cleaner, we actually bought a new cleaner. It was like Grand Canyon or like fall scented, and I thought I was going to love it, but I absolutely ended up hating it because it made the counters like stained. No matter how much I wiped it, it would stain the counters. And I'd have to re-wipe it. And in my opinion, what's the point of spending all that time wiping down your counters if they're just going to be stained from the cleaner? So, if you like to use this cleaner instead, I'll put a link to it down below. But wipe off like the base of the counters where the marble comes up and make sure it's all clean. We actually have residue from a tag that was left on the counter, a sticky tag. So I'm going to get a knife or a razor blade and scrape that off. I'm just going to use this like non-serrated butter knife because I don't want to scratch the counter, because that will be a fine that we have to pay when we move out, and that's just not something that we're looking to do. So, plus we want our deposit back, so I'm going to scrape what I can off of the counter, and I'm going to sweep the floor, so I'm just going to brush everything onto the floor, and then I will worry about sweeping a little bit later. Now that that's done, I'm going to rinse out my wash rag because it kind of picks up all the junk from the counter, and I don't want to put it right back onto the counter. So I'm going to just wash it thoroughly. Now that it's clean, I'm going to wring it out again and spray the counter with a little bit more cleaner where the stains were and wipe that clean. Now the counters are clean, I'm going to go into the sink and I'm going to do that with the same cleaner. So what I like to do is first I like to fill up the basin with warm water. We're gonna fill it about halfway full. Okay, now the water is heated up. I plugged the drain and we're gonna fill it up about halfway and kind of use our hands to scrub out the basin, and then I'll drain the water and spray some cleaner and wipe it down with the same wash rag. So as you can see, maybe you can't, the basin is just a little over halfway full, and I'm going to use our Scrub Daddy scrub brush. And while the water's in the basin, and since it already has soap in it, I'm just going to use the brush and scrub out all the gunk, like my boyfriend's beard hair, LOL, and my hair, dried toothpaste, just anything that tends to stick in the bottom of the sink. And I added a little cold water so the water wasn't so hot for me to stick my hands into. And now, Ruby, Indy, I'm going to, don't mind my dogs, I'm going to drain the water and then I will film the cleaner. So I drained the water and I rinsed all the suds out of the bottom of the sink. And now I'm just gonna coat the whole basin in cleaner. You really don't need a lot of this stuff, but I use quite a bit just because it smells good. Dropping my rag as per usual. And then I'm just going to take the same rag that we used for the counters and wipe out the cleaner so it's nice and clean. And then just like that, the basin of the sink is clean. So it looks a lot better than it did. Now I'm going to take the cleaner and the scrub brush back to the cupboard under the sink. That's where we keep all of our cleaners and things. And I'm going to take probably just regular Clorox spray or a Clorox wipe and wipe down like the metal part of the sink, as well as the door handles and everything like that. And then I'm going to sweep and mop. Now I just chose to use Clorox wipes. This is the Fresh Scent. That's the one I like the best. You can get these anywhere, pretty much, Walmart, Target, anywhere. And I'm going to use this Clorox wipe to wipe not only the handles and the spout of the sink, but the drain as well. So they are nice and clean. So I'm just going to roughly wipe everything down. Sometimes it's hard to get absolutely everything, but in my opinion, hard water just looks kind of trashy. So, and plus, like, for instance, last night we had RJ's sister over, and I like to keep the bathroom clean just in case they need to use it. We won't be absolutely embarrassed. So wipe that down. I'm gonna use the same one to clean in and around the drain. And just like that, the sink is done. And remember, never flush your cleaning wipes down the toilet. So I got the broom and I'm going to move the bath mat into the bathtub since that's not clean yet, and sweep this floor, and I'll record that process. So I'm going to start sweeping. I moved the scale and the bath mat, and I usually just like to put my dustpan right outside the door, and I start in the inside of the bathroom so I can work my way out. And I'm just going to sweep everything into the center of the floor. We have dog hair and bits of dog toys and just random things that fall on the floor. So we like to sweep. I try to do it twice a week, but sometimes you fall behind, and that's okay. I'm going to focus on underneath the counters, underneath that ledge, and just sweep everything up. I'm going to try to get behind the toilet and sweep all that out as well. And then grab the dustpan. I usually hold the dustpan while I do it. It's just easier for me, but everyone's different. And then just sweep as much as you can up. And I'm actually going to dump all of this into the kitchen garbage. Now I've got our lovely Swiffer, and it has an older pad on it, but it's still clean enough to use. And I'm going to Swiffer the floor. I go over it quite a few times just to make sure that all the grime is clear off. Because especially with bathrooms, a lot can build up on the floor from the shower and different things like that. And then I go over my footprints so there's not any footprints left behind. So same thing I did with the broom. I'm going to get underneath the counter like that. Set the Swiffer there for now. And the floor is done. So now I'm going to lay down the bath mat again and the scale. I just put the scale in the hallway. Typically when I do this. So lay the bath mat down again, and I'm going to grab the scale, and then I'm going to spray some Febreze to make it smell good. And I'm going to spray Febreze Ocean, just a decent amount. I like to spray it into the bathtub as well. And a little bit does it. That stuff is really strong and it will literally smell for hours. As far as the toilet goes, it's pretty much clean. We have toilet paper restocked. And I'll get rid of my rag and the knife in a second. But now I'm going to move on to the bathtub. As you can see, the dogs like to get into the bathtub and get their muddy paws all over it. So I'm going to put you guys at a good angle and use the same cleaner to wipe down the bathtub. I'm going to use this instead for the bathtub. And let's begin. So you guys are sitting on the toilet because I didn't know where else to put you. So I'm going to move the shower curtain out of the way, first of all, and spray. That is one loud spray bottle. Spray the outers of the tub, the walls, pretty much everything. And then as far as the tap goes, I will clean that with a Clorox wipe. So I'm going to wipe this down and then I'll be back. Make sure to rinse out your wash rag because it will collect everything. And then it's impossible to wipe up because you're just wiping the old shit onto the clean shit. So, and that is the result. Bunch of hair, bunch of grime. But the bathtub is pretty much clean aside from the scuffs. So that is it for the bathroom. And this wash rag is toast. So I'm going to, I would throw it in there, but it will mold. So I'm going to throw it straight into the washer. And I'll give you an overview of our clean bathroom. So, and everything can stay on the mirror. We'll wipe that down another day. Moving on, I'm going to do the dishes real quick. We just have dishes in the sink from dinner last night and breakfast. But all of the dishes in the dishwasher are dirty at the moment. So I'm just gonna load everything from there straight into the dishwasher. I'll film some of the dishes, but I'll cut it halfway through because that will be an extremely long video if I include it all. So I like to run the hot water, pull out the top shelf, do all the top shelf stuff first, and then I'll move on to the bottom shelf. And I'm using super hot water to rinse all of the dishes, just so the dishwasher is able to clean them easier. Now, everything besides that can go on the bottom shelf. So I'm gonna load this right into the top shelf, rinse this out, and throw that in the top shelf as well. And then I'm going to move on to the bottom. So the bottom is actually pretty full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the silverware. I like to put the sharp knives facing down and everything else facing up. So just rinse everything off. One tip, make sure you rinse your dishes, because the filter at the bottom of your dishwasher, if your dishes aren't rinsed off, that will get clogged and it will start to stink. So those two plates, I'm actually going to wash by hand because the dishwasher is completely full now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our dishwasher detergent. We just use Cascade. And I'm going to put a little bit of that in there and start the dishwasher. If I can goddamn open it. We usually just fill it up almost all the way full. You don't want to do too much. And once that's full, we will close the lid, lock it into place, and then shut the dishwasher all the way, push start, start again, and the dishwasher is running. Now I'm going to do the rest of these dishes. Everything else is going to be washed by hand. So I'm going to do the 3 things that are left in here. Those don't necessarily have to be washed by hand, but they're not going to be able to fit in the dishwasher, and I don't want there to be any dishes in the sink. And then this is cast iron, so it does have to be washed by hand with no soap. Now I'm going to rinse all the soap out of my brush with extremely hot water. Try to get as much of it out as you can. I prefer to do this with cold water because hot water just creates more like suds. So I'm going to change it to cold and continue to squeeze out this brush until I don't see any more soap because I don't want to ruin the cast iron pan. I'm going to, without pressing the soap button, I'm going to scrub this out really good, rinse it out, and then I'm going to dry all three with a hand towel. Okay, all three of the dishes are washed. Now I'm going to grab this towel. This is what we usually use for drying the dishes. And I'm just going to dry all of them off real quick. Really good so they don't smell if they sit in the cupboard wet. So dry the top and bottom. Dry out the cast iron really good so it doesn't rust. Bottom as well. And then I'm gonna put these away and then we'll do the sink. I don't care what anybody tells you, cleaning the sink is part of cleaning the kitchen. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to set you guys up over here. And our sink has the spray feature. So first I'm gonna rinse it out with hot water and spray as much of it off as I can. Let all of it go down the drain, what comes off with the water. And then as for the stuff that's stuck in the bottom of the sink, we have these little Pampered Chef scrapers. We have 2 of them. I'm just going to use this to scrape everything out. And kind of use the scraper to push it all into the garbage disposal. It's just easier that way. The water just makes it go everywhere. So I'm gonna push everything, scrape everything into the lovely garbage disposal. And rinse off the scraper now. Run the water directly in. Just gonna spray everything down. You want to leave the water on while you run the garbage disposal or it can burn it up. So, run that for about 3 seconds and that should be all you need. Now I'm going to take the same cleaner that we used for the bathroom and wipe down the sink. Taking another wash rag. This one can be dry. I'm going to make sure everything is sprayed, and then I'm just going to wipe in the sink. And just like that, good as new. I like to keep the scrub brush under the counter because it just looks gross sitting out. And then since I use cleaner on this wash rag, we can't use it for our dishes. So I'm going to do the same and throw it into the washer and then grab a fresh one to put on the kitchen sink. We just keep our wash rag up there like that. Next, we're gonna do the counters. Dr. Pepper break. Now, taking the same cleaner once again, I'm going to spray down the counters and wipe them down with a hand towel. Once you have the counters wiped down, you can let it soak depending on how bad your counters are, but usually we like to keep ours pretty clean. Once everything is all sprayed, I'm going to go in and wipe it down with a hand towel. I typically let this side sit while I do the rest, which I'm already done, because over here just gets really gross with hard water when the faucet kind of leaks. So now that that's been soaking, I'm going to just wipe it down as best I can. Some of the hard water doesn't come off. You can use vinegar to get it off, but I don't have time for that right now. So I'm just gonna wipe it down. And then, like I said before, we can't use this for anything else since we've used cleaner. So I'm going to throw this in the washer and then replace it with a fresh one. We have a nice clean hand towel. And I'm gonna hang that by the other one on the stove. Better, yeah? And there is our fresh, clean kitchen. Those are just stuff that we're gonna be using in the next couple days. But dishwasher is going. Garbage doesn't need to be taken out. Going to hang up Beebs' work jacket, put the dog toy away. We have to lay the rug back down. We just had it rolled up because Indy wasn't fully potty trained, so I think I trust her enough now to not chew on it or pee on it. So I'm gonna lay that back down, kind of in the center of the room, and I will come back when that's done. So I centered the rug the best I could, and we're gonna get actually carpet tape to tape it down because Ruby's favorite thing to do is jump off the couch and slide on the rug, and then it moves all over the place. So yeah, that is the clean living room and kitchen. Last step of this video is going to be shutting the lights off, and this will be what Beebs comes home to. I like to do this for him every day while he's at work since I'm not working. That's just my responsibility. We're giving that TV to Jackson, by the way. The Swiffer and eventually the vacuum just go in this little corner by the dryer. We have a little garbage bag for lint in there. And I'm not going to include it in this video, but now I'm going to tackle the bedroom just because I feel like that's like invasion of privacy. But I'm going to do that now. I'm going to enjoy my lights, and I have a wax in that little wax warmer. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I think it was a fun video to film. I really enjoy cleaning and organizing. So if you have any requests for videos, leave them in the comments below. Give me some suggestions. If you guys want to see vlogs, beauty videos, hair school videos, anything, I can film that. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe. Also, click the little bell to turn on your notifications. But for now, I will see you guys in my next one real soon. Bye, guys. Mwah.